A horrible 6-year conflict befell Syria with a multitude of factions fighting for territories backed by a score of foreign players. The script for the war, as with Iraq in 2003, originated with Zionist partisans, with Israeli interest in mind. From Oded Yinon to the Israeli clean break papers, the Zionist regime made it very clear what their intentions were in Iraq and Syria. American mass media had a uniform message that Assad must go for years until the Trump administration took power.
The world will not waver. Assad must go.
We both agree that Assad needs to go.
It is just further evidence that Assad has to go.
He is no longer legitimate and that he needs to go.
Assad is on his way out. We all need to be thinking about the day after Assad.
President al-Assad has lost legitimacy, that he needs to step down.
As I have said many times before, Assad has lost all legitimacy, and Assad must go.
He has stated unequivocally that Assad has lost all legitimacy and cannot conceivably continue to govern.
Assad has lost all legitimacy to govern.
We've also been clear that Assad has lost all legitimacy to lead.
What we've done is organize the international community, saying Assad has to go.
And I'm confident that Assad will go.
After cutting CIA funding and support for moderate rebels, which was always a cover of plausible deniability to fund Jihadist Al Qaeda groups, which wasn't a first for the US, the Syrian military and its allies were able to quickly deliver a cascade of defeats to the mercenary terrorists. In Iraq, after the US made it clear that they did not back Kurdish secession and would not give them air support, the Iraqi forces chased out the Peshmerga in a mere 36 hours. The world must know that the US was dragged into these conflicts via Israeli pressure and deceptions. As the president said, we have spent $6 trillion in the Middle East and we haven't won anything.
These are animals. You have to knock them out. You have to knock them off strong. You decide what to do after. You can't fight two wars at one time. If you listen to him and you listen to some of the folks that I've been listening to, that's why we've been in the Middle East for 15 years and we haven't won anything. We've spent $5 trillion in the Middle East because of thinking like that. We've spent and Lindsey Graham, who backs him, who had 0 on his polls. So let me just tell you something. We've spent. I only tell the truth, lobbyists. We've spent $5 trillion all over the middle. We have to rebuild our country. We have to rebuild our infrastructure. You listen to that, you're going to be there for another 15 years.
All right, Governor Bush, please respond.
It was never in American strategic interest to be Israel's enforcement arm in the region. With Saudi Arabia falling apart internally and Israel's plans for Syria wilting before their eyes, can the U.S. finally shake off these parasites of foreign policy and take a new direction?
Let Syria and ISIS fight. Why do we care? Let ISIS and Syria fight. And let Russia, they're in Syria already, let them fight ISIS. Look, I don't want ISIS. I don't want ISIS. ISIS is bad, they're evil. When they start doing with the head chopping and drowning of everything, these are really bad dudes. So I don't want them. But let them fight it out. Let Russia take care of ISIS. How many places can we be? We have to get rid of ISIS, very importantly. But I look at Assad, and Assad to me looks better than the other side. And you know, this has happened before. We back a certain side, and that side turns out to be a total catastrophe.
Syria, Israel's Invisible Hand. Available now on Vimeo On Demand. Please click the link below.